There are two species here. I'll let you have a close-up look at it. And it is very, very difficult to tell the difference. Now, the only way you can actually tell the difference, unless you're used to seeing the two species all the time, is by actually getting a microscope or a really powerful lens and checking and counting the number of veins on the dorsal sepal. A few of us that think the two species might be conspecific and variations of each other. You know, it's more of a horticultural way of looking at it rather than a botanical scientific, is tortile has more of a pronounced helix that goes around. Septemnervium is much more ad hoc. It's wider space between the flowers, and the flowers can be non-resuppinate, so upside down. They can be sideways, they can be any way. However, that's not enough to distinguish one species from another, and some dendrochilums have been described mistakenly for those sorts of differences. So science, we're allowed to disagree with each other, and that's what makes it all wonderful. And everyone still gets along, even if they say the other one's full of crap. So yeah, this is Dendrochilum tortile. You can see the flowers have opened sort of from about the middle of the spike. They're still opening up here. See that? And they'll open up, but you can see that real helix look. If I can keep it still, that real helix look that makes it look like a chromosome. Very, very rare. This is actually a division, or actually, this may be the plant. It's a plant or a division of the plant that actually formed the holotype for where this species was described. The holotype was deposited by a friend of mine, Malcolm Perry, into Leiden Botanic Garden, and so they then described the plant from that, along with other species he deposited at the same time, such as Hamplii. And so, of which I've also got part of the original plant, the actual holotype plant, the plant that the division came off, because you dry that off, you cut a bit of the plant off, that gets dried or it gets put in pickle, whichever way you want, and then that becomes the herbarium specimen, the actual type specimen. So yeah, this is quite a special little plant, this one, and it's one of the stock plants that I have of this. Very, very rarely do I offer a plant of this for sale, and they usually go quite quickly when I do. I've never offered septemnervium up for sale before. I've just divided a plant, but they've still got to grow. So you never know, maybe in 6-7 months time, I did give a plant away by accident. Someone bought a tortile once and it turned out to be a septemnervium. So it happens. They're easy to get mixed up. The flowers on the scent in neither is something I would describe as being pleasant. I think I remember once describing this when I gave a lecture actually on Dendrochilum way back in about 2007, maybe 2008. Septemnervium hadn't even been described at that point, so I remember describing the scent of it at the time as crushed millipedes mixed with lemon juice, which is quite bizarre, but I think it's quite creative. But yeah, no, it's really, really unpleasant. Nice, a real sour smell. But that is quite common in Dendrochilum. I find that they're not the only ones that have this really odd sour smell to it.